a set of staircase in a 3-bedroom, basically a cabin, 531 square feet. I just put down 5 gallons of pre-spray after running a black light over everything. This customer let the dogs urinate on basically every square inch. Just filthy people, filthy. And then we've got it, well, first time we made it here, you couldn't get to the carpet, so they had to rake it for us and get it to this point. But we're going to clean this in 2 trips. I've got 5 gallons of enzymes and other products down, soaking on all the stains and the organics so they can be broke down. And then we'll come back a couple days later and clean it again with sanitizers. Sanitizing product at a house we started 2 days ago. This is a steamer, wallpaper steamer. And I'm getting it set up in the water boiling. We just re-vacuumed everything. This house was this is definitely a salvage job. Everything has been vacuumed thoroughly again and then retreated with oxidizers and sanitizer for the pet urine. Odor is way better than it was. But we had some oil and grease spots, some green dye, and some yellow from this wax. We hopefully are going to be able to get all the way out. We're agitating everything in right now, then we'll extract it and dry it, and then vacuum it again on our way out. Video and let you in on the excitement of removing wax from a carpet. You want to keep the heat on long enough to liquefy the wax, but not so much that it delaminates or causes problem with the backing. These tufts are placed into what they call a primary backing, which is the latex glued to a secondary backing. And enough heat or certain products will actually cause that latex to get weak and separate, and it's called delamination. So you just want to keep dabbing and melting and dabbing and melting and not letting things get too warm. If you're using an iron for this, you want to make sure that you have a moist cloth, and that you're very cautious not to let the iron sit directly on the fibers for too long, or it'll burn and curl, distort the fibers permanently. That's why I like the steamer, is it's more foolproof. And if you push into this fast enough, once it's freshly been heated, you have to have the right scream to go with the pain that comes with that. But you can see I'm absorbing and adsorbing wax onto this cloth. And I just keep repeating the process gently and taking my time. So now everybody can be their own wax removal. Okay, so this particular home is a never-ending source of joy. Back here to clean it again today, and it's a multi-step cleaning. It's a salvage of a carpet that was really abused, and found us another big wax spot. Now we removed most of the bulk of the wax right off the top. You can do that with like a butter knife, gently. You break it up and you can twist off chunks of it so you have what's remaining. Now I'm using a reducing agent because this dye, red, will transfer. And there's a difference between a synthetic dye and a natural dye, like a juice dye. This one being in a candle, we're going to go with it being a synthetic dye. so that's why I'm using a reducing agent versus an oxidizing agent. What I'm going to do is begin to, heat it, and as it liquefies, I'll start gently absorbing and removing the wax a layer at a time. It does just take a little patience. And when we remove this here, you want to make sure you don't damage the wood or the paper. We'll go ahead and remove this wax as well. The same method. Just have to again pay attention. We don't want to liquefy it to the point that it runs down behind the carpet. We don't remove it. We want to catch it before it starts to run. Probably about 10 or 12 minutes into this at the moment, you'll be able to see that the wood still has red on it. You can feel it, you can't feel any wax. That's what's absorbed inside the wood that I'm not going to be able to get. I'll treat it before I leave with some reducing agents with hopes it'll diminish. You'll also see that I'm probably reaching a point where I won't be able to gain much in the carpet. Now using a microfiber, no detectable wax by feel. However, the way you color a carpet when it's a nylon carpet, you use heat, pressure, and a dye. And so it opens up the dye sites and accepts the color. When you have a hot candle wax, often it's replicated and it becomes permanent. We'll keep at it a little while and then color it, and we have a good chance of complete removal by tomorrow, letting it sit. Excuse me. Sit treated with reducing it.